If you're over 60 and you believe a daily walk is enough to keep you strong, steady, and independent, I need to challenge that idea right now. Walking is good. I'm not here to disrespect it. I walk. I want you to walk. But if walking is the only thing you're doing, you're leaving big gaps in your health. Gaps in strength, gaps in balance, gaps in reaction time. Gaps in the kind of physical resilience that decides whether you move well at 70, 80, and beyond, or whether your world starts getting smaller year by year. I'm Grant Harlow, and I've spent most of my life in high-performance environments. For 20 years, I was a Navy SEAL. Later, when my own health started sliding in the wrong direction, I had to rebuild from the ground up using better training, better recovery, and better science. So when I tell you this, I mean it. After 60, the goal is not just to keep moving. The goal is to keep your body capable. That means being able to catch yourself when you trip. It means standing up without using your hands. It means climbing stairs without planning your life around them. It means staying sharp, stable, and strong enough that you're still running your life instead of your limitations running it for you. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 exercises that do more for strength, balance, coordination, and long-term independence than walking alone ever will. They're simple, they're practical. You don't need fancy equipment. And if you stay with me to the end, I think you're going to see exercise differently. One of these movements in particular is the kind of thing most people ignore until they realize it solves a problem they've been quietly accepting for years. Before we get into it, take a second and tell me your age and where you're watching from. I always like seeing who's in the room. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, all working to stay in the fight. That matters. All right, let's get to work. The first exercise is counter push-ups. Most people hear push-up and immediately decide it's not for them. They picture getting down on the floor, straining their shoulders, grinding through ugly reps, and feeling like they're too old for that nonsense. Fair enough, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about using a kitchen counter, a sturdy bench, or any stable elevated surface to train upper body pushing strength in a safe, controlled way. And after 60, upper body strength is not cosmetic. It's survival equipment. It helps you push off a chair. It helps you steady yourself against a wall or railing. It helps you catch yourself during a stumble. It helps posture. It helps breathing mechanics. It helps you carry groceries, lift bags, move furniture, and stay useful in your own life. Walking does almost nothing for that. To do the movement, face a sturdy counter and place your hands about shoulder width apart. Step your feet back so your body forms one straight line from head to heel. Tighten your midsection. Lower your chest toward the counter slowly. Pause. Then press yourself back up with control. No bouncing, no sagging at the hips, no racing through the rep. Start with 6 to 8 clean repetitions. If that goes well, build toward 12, then 15 over time. The reason I like this movement so much is that it trains more than your chest and arms. It also teaches body control. It forces your core to stabilize. It gives you a chance to own your posture under load. And for a lot of men over 60, that's a missing piece. They're still active, but they've stopped challenging their body in ways that preserve strength. Now, a caution here. If you have an active shoulder injury, serious wrist pain, or recent surgery, don't force this. Make the angle easier by standing more upright, or get cleared by your clinician first. There's no trophy for pushing through the wrong pain. The rule is simple. Train hard enough to improve, not hard enough to set yourself back. Exercise 2 is the straight leg raise. This one looks too simple to matter. That's exactly why people skip it. Big mistake. As you age, one of the first things that starts to quietly decline is the strength in the front of your thighs and the muscles that help lift and control your legs. When those muscles weaken, walking gets slower. Getting up gets harder. Climbing stairs becomes work. Even your stride changes. That's when you start seeing the shuffle, the cautious step, the hesitation before getting out of a chair. The straight leg raise is one of those basic movements that helps rebuild that foundation. Lie on your back on a firm surface. One knee is bent with the foot flat on the floor. The other leg stays straight. Tighten the front of that straight leg, brace your midsection, and slowly lift the leg until it comes up about a foot or so off the ground. Hold for a second or two. Lower it under control. Then repeat. Start with 6 reps on each side. Build gradually. The goal here is not speed, it's control. Why do I care so much about a movement this basic? Because function depends on foundations. People want to jump to advanced routines, but they haven't earned stable hips, active quads, or basic pelvic control. That's like trying to build a second floor on a weak foundation. And here's something else. When your legs get weak, you don't just lose strength. You lose confidence. You start choosing the easier route. You avoid stairs. You park closer. You sit sooner. None of those decisions feel dramatic in the moment, but over months and years, they add up. Your life gets smaller quietly. This movement helps reverse that process. If lying flat bothers your back, modify it. You can reduce the range of motion. You can place a rolled towel under the knee. In some cases, you can even do a seated version to start building the pattern. Again, we're not chasing flashy. We're building a body that works. Exercise 3 is the step up. This one is huge. Maybe the most practical lower body movement on this list. Think about how many times in daily life you need to step onto something. A stair, a curb, a bus step, a porch, a low platform. That single action tells you a lot about how well the body is aging. It demands leg strength, hip drive, coordination, and balance all at once. When people lose the ability to step up confidently, they start negotiating with ordinary life. They hold railings tighter. They avoid certain places. They start treating stairs like an enemy. I don't want that for you. Find a low, stable step. 4 to 8 inches is plenty to start. Stand tall. Step up with one foot. Drive through the heel, and bring the other foot up to meet it. Then step back down slowly. That last part matters. The lowering phase is where a lot of control gets built. Do 6 to 8 reps per side to start. What I like about step-ups is that they train the whole chain: glutes, thighs, calves, core. But they also train decision-making and coordination. You're loading one leg at a time. You're managing balance. You're controlling your body in a pattern that actually shows up in real life. That's the kind of training that protects independence. Use a counter, chair back, or railing if you need support at first. There's no shame in that. Stability is a tool, not a crutch. Over time, the goal is to use less help, not more. Now, if you have significant knee pain, major balance issues, or you're recovering from joint surgery, keep the step low and take your time. Control first, height later. You don't need a high box. You need a safe rep. That's what creates progress. And let me say this clearly. When I talk to men in their 60s and 70s, one of the things I hear most is this: I don't mind aging, I just don't want to feel fragile. Good, then train to not be fragile. That's what this movement does. Exercise 4 is the wall sit. This one doesn't look impressive. It's not supposed to. It works. Stand with your back against a wall. Walk your feet forward a little. Slide down until you're in a seated position against the wall, or as close as you can comfortably manage. Your knees and hips should feel loaded but controlled. Then hold. 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Breathe the whole time. That's it. No movement, no equipment, no complexity. And yet this exercise can be brutal in the best way, because it builds the kind of leg endurance that real life demands. Standing up, sitting down, holding yourself steady, bracing under fatigue. Those are not glamorous skills, but they decide how capable you are in daily life. The wall sit teaches your legs to tolerate effort. It teaches your brain not to panic under muscle fatigue. And that matters because one reason older adults stop moving well is not just weakness, it's discomfort intolerance. The moment the legs start burning, they back off. That response becomes habit, then capacity keeps shrinking. Wall sits help you reclaim that space. Start with a partial position if full depth bothers your knees. You do not need your thighs perfectly parallel to the floor on day one. You just need a position you can own with good breathing and good control. Over time, work up to longer holds or repeat multiple rounds. If you have uncontrolled blood pressure or severe knee arthritis, be careful here and get medical guidance if needed. Never hold your breath. That's a mistake I see all the time. Breathe slow, breathe steady, and let the body learn that effort is not an emergency. This exercise also does something psychological that I value. It reminds you that strength is often quiet. It's not always about speed or aggression. Sometimes it's about staying composed under pressure. That lesson carries over into a lot more than exercise. Exercise 5 is the dead bug. I know, terrible name. Excellent exercise. This is where most people get surprised because they expect core training to mean vanity work. Sit-ups, crunches, maybe planks until their lower back complains. Not here. The dead bug is one of the best movements you can use to train core stability, cross-body coordination, and body control without beating yourself up. And for older adults, that combination matters far more than a six-pack ever will. Lie on your back. Bring your arms straight up toward the ceiling. Bend your hips and knees to about 90 degrees so your legs are up like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Then slowly lower your right arm and left leg away from each other while keeping your lower back gently connected to the floor. Bring them back in. Switch sides. Move slowly. That's the whole game. What makes this movement so valuable is that it trains the deep, stabilizing muscles that protect the spine, while also challenging coordination between the left and right sides of the body. That cross-patterning matters for walking, balance, turning, reaching, and reacting. It also forces your brain to pay attention. This is physical training and movement intelligence at the same time. A lot of men I work with think their back pain means they need to avoid core work. Usually the opposite is true. They need the right kind of core work. Not aggressive, not sloppy, controlled, intentional. That's what this is. If moving both an arm and a leg feels too difficult, simplify it. Start with just the arms, or just the legs. If your neck gets tense, place a small towel under your head. If your back arches hard off the floor, shorten the range and reset your brace. This is not a race. It's a skill. And I'll tell you something important. Staying mentally sharp is not just about crossword puzzles and supplements. Your brain responds to movement quality. It responds to coordination. It responds to the challenge of controlling your body with intention. That's another reason this exercise earns its place here. So let's pull this together. Walking is still valuable. It's good for circulation. It's good for mood. It's good for general activity. Keep doing it. But don't confuse better than nothing with enough. After 60, enough means preserving strength. Enough means protecting balance. Enough means training your body to handle real life. Counter push-ups help you build the upper body strength and posture walking won't give you. Straight leg raises help restore the leg strength that supports every step. Step-ups train the exact kind of single leg control you need to stay independent. Wall sits build endurance and resilience where daily life demands it most. Dead bugs strengthen the core and coordination systems that help protect your back, your balance, and your confidence. That's a smarter package than a walk around the block by itself. And here's the good news. You don't need perfection. You don't need to train like a young athlete. You don't need to punish yourself. You need consistency. You need honest effort. You need a plan that respects your age without surrendering to it. That's how you stay dangerous to decline. If you take one thing from me today, let it be this. Aging is real, but fragility is not automatic. A lot of what people call just getting older is really years of undertraining the qualities that matter most. Strength, balance, coordination, control. Those can be improved. At 60, at 70, even later than that. Strength has no expiration date. Pick one of these exercises and start this week. Not next month. Not when motivation shows up. This week. Then build from there. Your future body is being negotiated right now by the choices you make in ordinary days. If this spoke to you, tell me in the comments which movement you need most right now. Is it getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, feeling steadier on your feet? I read those comments, and they help me make these videos for real people with real goals. And if there's another man in your life who needs to hear this, send him this message. A brother, a friend, a father, a husband. Somebody who still thinks a short walk is enough to hold the line against aging. Maybe this is the conversation that changes his direction. You're not too old. You're just getting started. Keep moving, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.